Well, welcome back to Tractors in Life. I'm really happy you joined us for this episode. This is one I've been wanting to do for a very, very long time. Now, you see that John Deere behind me? It doesn't matter what kind of tractor that you own. This is going to be, most of these tractors are designed really, really similarly. So what you're going to see in this video is probably going to apply to your tractor as well. I learned that in 2024, there were 216,000 tractors sold. Now, that's everything from subcompact and compact and utility and ag stuff. I know there are some new tractor owners. I also know that there are people out there that have been paying someone to do their maintenance for them. It's very expensive. I'm hoping that you're going to see this video and see with somebody who's half an idiot like me, that if I can do it, that you can do it too. It's not rocket science. It just gets a little intimidating, I think, for some of us. You'll have to start somewhere, right? So hopefully you're going to be able to refer to this video from time to time. What you're going to see in there are the basics and also some of the more intricate as well. First of all, we're going to change the oil. We're going to change the oil filter. We're going to do both fuel filters. We're going to do the fuel separator, get it cleaned out. We're going to change the transmission filter, the hydraulic filter, and all the hydraulic fluid. And by the way, you don't want to miss that, because I'm going to show you something that's going to make your life simpler if you're half blind like I am and being able to check your hydraulic fluid level. And then we're going to also do the air filters as well. And then we're going to grease the machine. So this is going to be an A to Z comprehensive video that you might want to take a look at from time to time as you're tackling some of these projects. So thank you so much for joining us. I hope you enjoy the video, and let's get to work. Hey, if you enjoy our videos, we sure would appreciate a thumbs up right here. Thank you so much for joining us. Yeah, so you can see I've got the 3-point hitch all the way down, and then I've got the front cylinders totally retracted. All right, we're going to start with the hydraulic fluid. So my tractor takes about 6 gallons of hydraulic fluid. So I've well, let me show you what I've done. So this is where I'm going to drain it from, where you see the wrench on. And I've got this big pan underneath, and these flexible funnels are fantastic. So I've learned from others that have done this that if you don't take the drawbar out, which I did, it's going to run back under the tractor and just make a mess. So let's get this loosened up. We'll get as much of the fluid out as we can. It's going to shoot out here a little bit. I hope I have this. Okay, it seems like it's going to be okay. So let's let that drain a little bit. All right, going to try to give you guys the best shots that I can. So there's 2 different filters, hydraulic and transmission. Now, Deere says they want you to pull this wheel off to get more accessibility, which I agree. Problem is, I've got it filled with rim guard. It's over 300 pounds. I'm not gonna fool with that. I can get to this. So I'm gonna get under the tractor. I'm gonna bring you guys with me. If you don't know which filter is which, well, obviously you just go by size, and it's pretty self-explanatory. I really need to apologize here. I thought I had the camera in the right position. Obviously, I did not. Where I had it sitting and where I am behind that tire, I couldn't see either screen on the camera. But, I mean, I think you guys got both filters off, made a little bit of a mess. I did put some absorbent pads down and then reinstalled the filters. And really the same principle, you know, putting them on as tight as I can by hand, and then going about 1/4 to a 1/2 turn with the wrench. So yeah, again, I'm so sorry for this portion not turning out correctly. All right, let me show you this. This is the drain plug, and it's got Teflon tape, which is kind of a no-no when it comes to your hydraulic system, because this tape can break off. I'm going to get it all off, and I'm going to use something else. Yeah, so this can get in your sump. Remember, your hydraulic system is pressurized, so it's not good to have a foreign body in any system, but especially in a hydraulic system with it being pressurized. All right, I've got it clean now. So now we're going to put some pipe thread sealant on. Threads. You're going to torque this in there. There's no reason to go to the end. A 16 millimeter wrench to tighten this back up. And again, this should go on very, very smooth. Don't want it cross-threaded. All right, so I got a funnel there. First thing I'm going to do is add the hydraulic oil so I can wash it down with the, or excuse me, add the hydraulic dye so I can wash it down. So the reason I have the spout at the top is if you do that, it won't gurgle as much and splash all over the place. So what I like to do is to extend the cylinders, take readings, and then retract the cylinders and take additional readings. And I'll go about this a couple different times, just making sure that I don't overfill the system because that can be damaging, and certainly that I don't underfill it. So I go about this process a couple different times until I've got the correct amount of fluid. And here's what we're left with. And also you get a chance to see that dye too, how easy it is to see. So judging by that amount, I'm gonna put in a half a gallon and repeat the process. I want this right. And by the way, my recommendation is this. Rather than get the 5 gallon and a couple 2 gallons, I would highly recommend just getting all 1 gallon. It's gonna be slightly more in cost, but so much easier to work with. So this is my John Deere owner's manual, and what I've done is I flag it for things that I might refer to all the time. But also, when I got done with all the maintenance on this tractor, what I did was I saved all the labels to all the filters. I'll stick them in the back here so that next time that I want to do the maintenance, I can order these by number. And here's why that's important. You go to your dealer, you're gonna pay X price, okay? There are other outlets out there where you can buy aftermarket that are just as good so that you're not paying the sometimes ridiculous price that these dealers get. All right, so what I'm gonna do first is to get some of the axis panels off. Relatively simple to do. I love using these little magnetic plates for putting screws in. I have a tendency to get clumsy and kick them over. This way they stay in place. You know, so what I like to do is I actually just went under there and I loosened the bolt, the drain bolt for the oil, just a little bit, tightened it back up by hand. That way, when you heat the oil up, as I'm gonna do in a minute by starting the tractor, and then you get back under there to drain it, you've got to do 2 things. One is pull the dipstick, so you release that kind of internal vacuum. The second thing, of course, then is to take the drain bolt off and let it drain for a while. But heating up the tractor just helps to thin out the viscosity of the oil and allows you to get the drainage that you want. All right, so I've got the tractor warmed up. All right, got the pan underneath, and there comes the oil. I almost caught it. A little bit of a mess. All right, so now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pull the dipstick and the oil fill cap. So I'm gonna let that drip for a bit, and then we'll put the cap back on, put the bolt back in, and get the filter off. Meantime, I'm gonna get some absorbent pads. So I've got a whole box of these absorbent pads, and they're fantastic. They're relatively inexpensive, and at least for me, no matter how neat I try to be, I'm gonna get oil somewhere. So by putting these down, you'll limit how much you get on your floor. I'm gonna put this back in so I don't forget, and then we're gonna get that oil filter out. All right, I'm gonna put a link in the description for this. This is an oil filter kit. Actually, any filters. You can see there's several choices. So on the existing filter, it appears to be a number 904. So we'll use this to get the existing filter off. The new filter is smaller. It looks like it's going to be a 901 to get it on. You don't need this, but you know, I have found, especially when you service your tractor for the first time like I am, a lot of this stuff is painted on, or they've got some kind of Arnold Schwarzenegger at the Deere factory putting this stuff on. It sometimes can be really difficult to get off. But this makes it a little easier. I'll use it for the fuel filter, for the hydraulic filters as well, coming up in this video. All right, it's out. Now, one thing you want to be sure of when you pull this out is that you still don't have the gasket on the machine. You'll have a severe leak if you do that. All right, so this is the new filter, and I've got that on about as tight as I can by hand. So now what I like to do is go like 1/4 turn. All right, again, so that was a 901 for getting that back on. Now we got to put the oil in, but first thing, I'm going to put the leave the oil fill plug right there. I'm going to put the dipstick, clean it, get it back in. And of course, you don't need to really reef these things down tight. Just a little bit better than snug, I would say. Remember, you're the guy that's got to get it off next time. All right, now with my tractor, they save 4.7 quarts. So, of course, 4 quarts to the gallon. I've got a 1 gallon container plus a quart. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the gallon in, take a reading, and then put the balance in as I read it, start it, so on and so forth, back and forth, just to make sure I get the right amount of oil in. Put this gallon in now and obviously check for leaks. Take a reading on the dipstick. I did not fill the oil filter with oil simply because it's a horizontal install and just makes a mess. And again, sorry for the rain noise, but this rain is so welcome for us. It really is. Okay, here's the dipstick, and it's showing that the level is exactly where it should be. So I'm gonna let it set for a couple minutes and then start the tractor and then take another reading. All right, topped it off, let it run a little bit. Just gonna check the oil one last time just to make sure we're dead on the money. And we are, right on the money. This tractor has a separator, diesel fluid and water. It's a water separator, and then there are 2 fuel filters. So we're gonna get both those done. That can be a little bit of a messy job, but we'll do those right now. It's not that difficult. All right, so again, we're gonna get the 2 service panels off, which is just 2 screws, just like the other side. Here is the separator. First thing I'm going to do is to shut the fuel off. And then we've got to get this separator off, and they can be a little challenging sometimes. First we'll try by hand. I don't think this is going to work. No. So I fooled with this thing for quite a long time. And then it dawned on me as I'm struggling to get this off. I remember seeing a video. If you watch our channel, you've probably watched Brock from Rock Hill Farms. Well, Brock did a great video on the 2038R. He had the same problem that I did. And, well, watch this.
This looks like it won't screw all the way down. This is supposed to come off. And that's got to screw down for it to come off. I'm not sure. Maybe I've got to take the whole thing loose. Alright, when we bring this out, this will unscrew.
As I said, I remember watching Brock from Rock Hill Farms do his 2038R, and he had the same problem getting this separator off. So what you have to do is loosen this bolt right here, and then it comes right off. So it looks pretty clean. Don't really have a lot of sediment in there, but we'll clean it up anyhow. Okay, now the next fuel filter, here's the new one. And again, I'm gonna try to give you guys the best view that I can. It's right here under the floorboard. And the issue with this tractor is all the lines coming to these fuel filters are hard lines. So I can't crimp them off. And this is coming directly from the tank, so there's gonna be some fuel. So again, got the new seal wiped. I'm gonna, of course, make sure that when I take this one off, that that the old seal comes with it. All right, so here we go. I'm gonna try to get clear of the fuel that's gonna come down. All right, yeah, but here it comes. And here I go with the new one. Actually, only got a little bit in my mouth. Not bad. All right, that is the worst filter, I can tell you right now. Get through that one, and everything else on the tractor is relatively simple. Tighten this one up. Hey, I didn't hit my head. I only tasted a little bit. Not bad. All right, gonna chalk the wheels. And I'll show you why in a minute. All right, we're not all made of money, but I would highly recommend, if you own equipment, these battery-powered grease guns are fantastic. This is DEWALT. I've had zero issues with it. Milwaukee makes them. There's a lot of manufacturers out there. I don't know much about the other ones other than I've had this one and it works great. The other thing is, this is called a LockNLube. So what you do is open it up, put it on the Zerk fitting, let go, and it locks it on. As far as grease, I'm using John Deere grease. So what I'm gonna do now, I wanna show you one thing. So underneath the hood is this diagram. And what it shows you is the location of each grease fitting. Now, a lot of manuals also contain that information, but I just think it's just kind of convenient. And you can see right here is a grease fitting. Now, I just happened to luck out that it is facing down at me. Very often it doesn't. If you look at this, you can see I can rotate the drive shaft. This is usually the way I find it, like this. Now I could move it around so that I can get at it. So. All right, so the front one has this guard over it, and you just turn it, and then you can pull it back and expose the fitting. And well, once again, lucked out in that it's right here. So we'll get it greased. Now this one a little simpler to get the LockNLube on. And you can see the grease coming out there. All right, so here, found the LockNLube is the rear trunnion. So let's get it greased. All right, so this one, you don't have to be under the tractor to get this one. That's the front trunnion there. And you can see grease coming out back here. So now we can let the tractor back down to the ground. Okay, so we've got the 3-point hitch. We've got a fitting right here. Clean it off. Get the LockNLube on it. And you can see the grease is coming out right here. Now what I also like to do is, this is white lithium grease. All right, so This is the outer. One I had was not that dirty, but, and this is the inner. Okay, so obviously the closed ends are out, facing out. Let's put these in. Obviously the inner first, and it's just a matter of putting it on there and turning it. There we go. All right, so I've got this strap hooked back up, and yeah, so that's done. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. My goal is that tractor owners use this as kind of a reference. Not that I am the be-all, the end-all, not that I'm any kind of genius or know any more than just an idiot, but I've tried some of this stuff, and what I've shown you throughout this video is stuff that I found that works. I would love to have comments from you on maybe you can, I'm sure you could teach me some things on ways that I could do these processes a little bit better, a little bit more efficient, a little bit more effectively. So please, in the comments, go after me. Go ahead, go after me, I can take it. Hey, thank you so much for joining us. God bless you all, and we'll see you next time on Tractors and Life.